Jiyan's banner is almost here for version 1.3, so here's a detailed review discussing his strengths, weaknesses, and if you should pull on his weapon banner or not. If you were not able to get him in version 1.0 and you're a bit confused between choosing him or Camellya, this video should help you make a good decision that will benefit your account in the long run. I'll try to cover everything I possibly can, so let's get right into it. In today's video, we're going to be discussing 5 main sections that can help you decide whether you should get Jiyan on your account or not. These sections include his role as a damage dealer, ease of playstyle compared to other DPS characters, gameplay satisfaction, issues related to his kit and best build, team availability, relevance to the main story quest, and lastly, best in slots weapon analysis. As always, if you find my videos helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, do me a huge favor by liking and subscribing to see more future videos from this channel. For his role as a damage dealer, Jiyan is one of the best characters that we have in the game, with the ability to dish out huge front-loaded damage using his forte and then proceed to do some big numbers in his King Long mode, which modifies his basic attacks by literally summoning a dragon that dances on the battlefield. What makes his King Long mode very powerful is that it hits 8 times and each hit has a very decent scaling, which can hit around 13 to 15,000 damage at S0 if you crit while having his weapon. In terms of ease of playstyle, he does not require you to learn complicated game mechanics like quick swaps when you compare him to other characters like Calcium to maximize their survivability on the field. He is one of the few characters suitable for brain dead parries because his skill and basic attacks in his King Long mode is designed to hit multiple times, which can easily line up with a parry. This makes him very special and unique among DPS characters that we currently have in the game. So if you're someone that does not like to think about complex parry timings, Jiyan is the best character for you. In terms of gameplay satisfaction, there are a few pros and cons. Jiyan is a sub DPS that does not really care if he's up against single target enemy or multi-wave enemies. In fact, multi-wave content is even much better because he's the best grouper that we currently have in the game. Being able to efficiently group enemies as you're hitting each one of them 8 times with a dragon is too overpowered if you ask me. However, you'll feel that satisfaction mostly in the Tower of Adversity, but not so much in the overworld. In terms of the issues related to his kit, he's designed to be reliant on his liberation, so funneling resonance energy to him during your rotations will be your main priority. The trick to successfully gain full resonance energy every rotation is to essentially intro with Jiyan twice during your rotation. So that means that you need to swap to Jiyan from your healer when your healer's concerto energy is full to use a skill and echo, and then swap back to Jiyan after your sub DPS concerto energy is full. The mechanics behind how this energy recovery method works so well for DPS characters heavily reliant on their liberation like Jiyan is that intro skills are designed to regenerate a lot of resonance energy, so if you add that to the resonance skill and echo skill usage after the first intro from your healer, it fills up your resonance energy by a decent amount. Keep in mind that you also need to make sure you spend more time dealing damage in your King Long mode, because if you spend too much time dodging, you won't be able to recover at least half of his resonance energy before your King Long mode duration runs out. Another issue with this kit is that he's heavily reliant on his intro, so it forces you to play him in a team, which might be bad for some of you guys that like to play solo. An intro skill instantly regenerates half of his forte bar, which is all you need to use his forte by tapping on his liberation to do big nuke damage. This means that playing him solo will require you to hit the enemy multiple times with your basic attacks or heavy attacks, which takes so much time to fill his forte compared to just using an intro skill. The same issue can be found in his best in slots Echo Sonata effect, which is the Sierra Gale that gives you 40% arrow damage bonus from the 4-piece set when you perform an intro skill. If you still want to play solo, you can mix and match 2 pieces like 2-piece Lingering Tunes and 2-piece Sierra Gale with good substats, which can help you mitigate that issue, but I still don't recommend it. In terms of team availability, all he needs is Mortefi, a 4-star sub DPS unit that you can easily obtain if you've been pulling on any of the banners for a while. Since he's a sub DPS unit, quick concerto energy recovery should be your main priority, but he does a decent job at that because his forte, which is an enhanced resonance skill, helps regenerate concerto energy. Also keep in mind that having characters that can use their skills multiple times like Mortefi greatly increases the resonance energy that your teammates get because they receive roughly 50% of that energy while they are off field. Alternative sub-DPS units that you can use in place of Mortefi include Alto, but I don't recommend it because Alto's forte does not regenerate any concerto energy, so your rotations will be slower compared to using Mortefi. The addition of Shorekeeper also significantly increased Jiyan's damage potential. Characters like Jiyan, Camouflage, Ling Yang, and Danjin deal small but consistent damage over time, so having a low crit rate on them does not hurt compared to characters like Jinshi because they will occasionally crit as they deal more damage over time. Shorekeeper's crit damage and crit rate boost help improve the chances of him scoring a critical hit on all of his 8 basic attack hits while he's in his King-Long mode. His skill tree also has crit rate boost on them to help make building crit stats very easy. When it comes to relevance to the main story quest, Jiyan was heavily involved in version 1.0 story quest, who helped Rover prevent the Tacit Discord uprising, and his relationship with Geshe Lin means that we should expect Jiyan to make an appearance again in the main story quest if it's related to Geshe Lin or the untold secrets behind where Tacit Discords come from, or if they can be man-made, since we saw them popping out of the water as the story progressed. If you're somebody that likes to pull characters based on how much role they play in the main story quest, Jiyan is the right character for you because wherever you find the Midnight Rangers in the main story quest, you will definitely find General Jiyan. Now let's break down his weapon to help you decide whether you should pull for it or not. Signature weapons significantly improve your damage, but how most players perceive it to increase your damage is not entirely true. Jiyan's weapon increases your attribute damage, which is the same as elemental damage bonus, by 12% and increases your heavy attack damage bonus by 48%. This does not necessarily mean that your damage just increases by 60% at refinement rank 1. There are a lot of factors at play concerning your damage. If you take a look at this damage formula here, you can see that elemental damage bonus and skill damage bonus is additive to each other. Don't worry, I'll make it as simple as possible. The 12% attribute damage goes into the elemental damage bonus part, and the 48% heavy attack damage bonus goes into the skill damage bonus part. Your main focus is getting this part that is additive to each other to at least 100% or slightly above that, because every additional 100% will be half as effective as the last one due to diminishing returns. Having this weapon makes it easy to get 100% because you can run one 3-cost attack echo and one elemental damage bonus echo, which will give you 52% elemental damage bonus due to the 40% damage bonus from the Sierra Gale Sonata effect and 48% heavy attack damage bonus, excluding substats you gain from echoes and buffs that you gain from teammates, adding up to 100. This increases your damage significantly because it will increase skill hits right here because of running an attack 3-cost echo, which is what I recommend every player should do when using a specific character's signature weapon. His weapon substat is also crit damage, which is less desirable than crit rate. So what does this mean for Jiyan? If you don't have a signature weapon but you're using any 5-star weapon, which I recommend, rolling more heavy attack damage bonus can help mitigate the damage loss from not having his weapon. If you're using the Illustrious Razor, go for double elemental damage bonus because of the huge attack that it provides. However, for 5-star weapons, I recommend Jinshi's signature because of the crit rate substats, and you can easily run double elemental damage bonus with that weapon as well if you couldn't roll many heavy attack damage bonus substats. You can easily get attack increase from your healers and sub-DPS characters as well while doing your rotations. Overall, Jiyan is a character that you will never regret pulling, and he will always carry you in the Tower of Adversity when you need him the most. If you want to know the best advanced tips for Jiyan, click on this video right here. That will be all for the Jiyan review. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.
So please whatever.